Behind their stone faces, something darker awaits. Millions of people visit these public monuments every year, but many don't know the secrets they hold. Today, we're going to unveil 15 secrets that are hidden inside Mount Rushmore. Features the faces of 4 U.S. presidents carved into the granite of South Dakota's Black Hills. Each face is over 60 feet tall, and the monument attracts over 2 million people annually. And behind the face of Abraham Lincoln is a hidden chamber known as the Hall of Records. This chamber was conceived by Gutzon Borglum, the lead sculptor of Mount Rushmore, and he intended it to be a vault of storing important U.S. documents like the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, and the Bill of Rights. The plan was for the hall to be lined with bronze and marble tablets and serve as a shrine to these documents. Well, construction of the Hall of Records began in 1938, and workers excavated a 70-foot vertical shaft and started carving an entrance chamber 35 feet deep. Construction was halted in 1941, though, due to funding issues and the start of World War II. Borglum also died that year, and his son Lincoln Borglum ceased work on the chamber. The Hall of Records was left unfinished, an empty cavern just sitting behind Lincoln's face. The chamber was sealed and inaccessible to the public for decades, but in 1998, the National Park Service installed a time capsule in the unfinished Hall of Records, and the capsule's in a titanium vault sealed behind a granite capstone. It has 16 porcelain enamel panels with the words of key American texts, a biography of Borglum, and an explanation of the monument's purpose. It is intended for future civilizations, of course. But today, the Hall of Records is closed to the public. It's fenced off and under surveillance. The entrance is only visible by helicopter or maybe a drone, and viewers on the viewing platform are unaware of the sealed chamber behind Lincoln's head. Mount Rushmore also has a history that's related to the Lakota Sioux. But below the memorial is a network of hollow chambers and a history involving Cold War surveillance. Construction started in 1914, but due to the marshy ground near the Potomac River, engineers needed to build deep reinforced foundations. They excavated large areas and filled it in with concrete support piers. This left a large, empty space, and they called it the Undercroft. Well, it consists of intersecting corridors, reinforced beams, concrete supports, and even dirt floors. This space is rarely seen by the public. It's got high ceilings, unfinished walls, and a cool, musty atmosphere. Pipes run along the walls, and some lights hang down from exposed beams, and in the 1970s, workers found graffiti dating back to the 1920s and 30s, including initials, murals, and even drawings. These markings were made by the original construction crews. During the Cold War, though, the Lincoln Memorial's Undercroft was used for surveillance equipment and monitoring stations. The National Park Police installed radio rooms and observation posts, some of which are still there. Old wiring, radio equipment, and lockers are still present, and there are unconfirmed rumors that the space was prepared as a secure communications bunker. More recently, though, the Undercroft has housed bats and insects, leading to ecological studies and pest control efforts. Some workers have reported strange sounds down there. While those reports are anecdotal, the atmosphere is considered unsettling. In 2017, the National Park Service announced plans to renovate and open parts of the Undercroft to the public, including a glass walkway. But as of now, access remains restricted. It is a significant space beneath the memorial. The Undercroft, that's an awesome name. It contains graffiti from the construction period, remnants of the Cold War surveillance, and it's been a habitat for wildlife. Washington Monument is over 555 feet tall, and it's one of the most recognized obelisks in the world. It honors George Washington, the first U.S. president, and is the tallest stone structure in the world. Construction began in 1848 and finished in 1884, with delays due to funding issues, the Civil War, and of course, political disputes. A pyramid-shaped capstone made of aluminum, a valuable metal at the time, was placed on top. It acted like a lightning rod. However, the lightning protection system had some problems. The monument is struck by lightning multiple times each year, sometimes as often as a dozen times. The initial system failed, causing cracks in the stone and scorch marks inside. Visitors have reported feeling static electricity during storms. A man once fainted after a lightning strike affected the elevator shaft. But moisture and repeated strikes led to some crumbling mortar and electrical failures. Additional copper rods and grounding wires were installed, but the issue persists due to the monument's height and location, making it a frequent target for lightning. Engineers do record every strike, though. The 2011 Virginia earthquake caused a bit of structural damage, including cracks in the stone and dislodged mortar. The top 100 feet of the tower shifted. Surveillance footage showed some dust and debris falling down, and fissures were found in the pyramidon and stairwell. A stone panel shifted and the monument was closed for over 3 years for repairs. The aluminum capstone is inscribed with Laus Deo, praise be to God, the builders, the names, the date of completion, and scientific measurements. The very top of the monument is now inaccessible to the public, and the observation deck sits 30 feet below it. The capstone is sealed inside of a lightning cage surrounded by wiring and structural patches. It was built during the fascist era and, of course, contains a tomb with uncertainty regarding the identity of the soldier. In Rome, near the Roman Forum, is the altar of the Fatherland, also known as the Vittoriano. It's a large white marble monument built to honor Victor Emmanuel II, the first king of a unified Italy. Due to its size and appearance, though, it's received nicknames like the typewriter and the wedding cake. It also includes the tomb of the unknown soldier. It was designed as a tribute to Italian unification, and during the era of Benito Mussolini, the monument was used for fascist rallies and parades, and Mussolini oversaw the construction of the Via dei Fori Imperiali, a wide avenue leading to the Vittoriano. That required the destruction of some ancient Roman ruins, and he delivered speeches from the monument's balcony. The tomb of the unknown soldier, though, was installed in 1921, holding the remains of an unidentified Italian soldier who died during World War I. 11 unidentified corpses were collected from battlefields and placed in caskets. Maria Bergamas, whose son died in the war, was asked to choose one casket. The chosen casket was interred with national honors and in eternal flame. However, some of the bodies were misidentified and some may not have been Italian. One body was later suspected to be Austrian. The monument has a large underground structure as well, with sealed vaults, archives, and ceremonial chambers, and some of these spaces haven't been opened since the 1930s. It's been stated that parts of the lower levels are poorly documented and their contents are unknown. The eternal flame, too, has gone out several times due to some power outages, gas line failures, and a bit of human intervention. And this monument has whispering galleries due to its architecture. Sounds here carry strangely in the staircases and porticos. Maintenance workers have reported hearing footsteps and conversations in sealed-off areas. While the monument is open to the public, only a small portion is accessible. Locked doors, chain-barred stairwells, and hallways lead to inaccessible areas. The official reasons for this include structural integrity, preservation, and undocumented wiring, and past vandalism. It is a monument to national unity that was built over older ruins. It was built during the fascist era and, of course, contains a tomb with uncertainty regarding the identity of the soldier. 98 feet tall atop Corcovado Mountain, overlooking Rio de Janeiro, Christ the Redeemer is a well-known statue. It represents peace, hope, and Brazilian cultural and religious identity. Visitors go to see its size, its location, and the monument has a history that includes construction problems, lightning damage, internal chambers, lost engineering documents, and a restricted internal area. The interior, though, is closed to the public. The statue is hollow, containing stairs, platforms, walkways, and concrete tunnels, and inside there are structural supports and service areas. Maintenance chambers and access hatches located at the head and the shoulders, with those spaces being small and only a few technicians have ever entered them. The statue itself was completed in 1931 after 9 years of planning and 5 years of construction. The Brazilian engineer Heitor da Silva Costa designed it, and French artist Paul Landowski sculpted it. It was meant to be both symbolic and strong. Due to its size and mountain location, it's exposed to wind and storms, so designers had to create specific methods to make it stable. The internal structure is made of reinforced concrete ribs, which support the outer shell of soapstone tiles. Access is through a small maintenance door at the base, and inside is a spiral staircase of more than 12 stories, about 1,300 steps lit by service lights. There are walkways, metal platforms that cross through the chest, the shoulders, and the head, and these are used for inspection, lightning repairs, and emergency access. In these walkways, the space is pretty quiet. Workers say the echo of footsteps lasts for minutes in there, and at the shoulder levels are trapdoors that lead to observation hatches behind the arms, which are rarely opened. Those hatches were built for engineers to check on stress points in the arms, but are pretty difficult to reach. The head of the statue has an internal space. It is possible to climb a ladder into that space, but it requires some physical ability and a bit of clearance. There are no railings and few lights, and inside the head is empty space too, with a vent and a hatch for monitoring. In the 1980s, engineers found stress cracks in the concrete structure inside the head caused by lightning strikes. It's struck by lightning 3 to 5 times each year on average, and the statue had internal lightning rods, copper wires in the concrete, but many had corroded or failed. In 2014, lightning broke off the tip of the right thumb, and in 2008 the head was struck, damaging a soapstone panel and causing fractures in the supporting ribs. Much of the original documentation from the 1920s and 30s, like blueprints, material orders, sketches, were lost or destroyed. The only records are in private archives belonging to the descendants of Heitor da Silva Costa. These documents are not digitized and have not been fully released, but modern engineers don't know everything about the statue's design. When damage happens, there is often no reference material. Oh, and during construction, multiple people died. Official records were pretty vague, but memoirs and letters suggest falls, lightning strikes, and injuries did happen. These were not all reported either, and no plaque commemorates the dead. Some locals believe the interior is haunted, too, by those who died building it. Maintenance crews have reported sounds and finding things dislodged. Electrical technicians have reported issues, too, with the lighting system without a cause. Christ the Redeemer. It's a concrete space with lightning protection, hiding engineering issues, and a human cost. To the world, it's a symbol of peace, but inside there are cracks, quiet spaces, and historical weight. There are stairs, chambers, all behind closed doors.